Hey guys, just wanted to stop in and do a real quick review, or actually more of an initial impressions. This is the Lightning OTF double action knife. I don't know what the actual company is. I don't know if Lightning is the company, but you can get these on Blade HQ. They run about 40 bucks, so they're not a spendy knife by any means. Not super cheap, but you know, not anything that's too expensive. If you're a knife snob and are all caught up in the different kinds of steels, you probably are not going to like this knife. It's basic, it's a stainless steel blade, nothing fancy, no crazy composites, no crazy blade steels, anything like that. Really straightforward, kind of a cheapie, but overall I'm pretty impressed with how well it's built. Out of the box, it doesn't come crazy sharp. I'm kind of spoiled on Kershaw knives. I've got, mostly that's what I've carried for my life. And Kershaw's come out of the box really, really sharp. This one, not nearly as sharp as the Kershaw's, but decent, serviceable. I spent about 5 minutes with it on a whetstone, and it got it right up to the old paper slicing test, and it did really well there. As far as holding an edge, I literally just got this 24 hours ago, so I can't speak to how well it holds its edge, but it seems to take an edge pretty quickly. Few things that I like about it. Overall, it's a decent-sized knife without being huge. I don't have huge hands, but you can see this kind of comes all the way across. It's about 5, actually, let me take the old tape measure out here, and we'll see. It is just shy of 5 inches long, about 4 3/4 inches long. The blade is 3 1/4 inch, which I think is a really good EDC size. It's not so big that it's you know, ostentatious and you know, people are going to look at you crazy for carrying such a big knife, but it's big enough to do pretty much anything that you need to do on a day-to-day basis. The blade shape is really nice. It's got a pretty decent belly on it. You can see here, not a crazy deep belly like some knives. Like I've got this Kershaw Storm here. See, that's got one heck of a belly on there. Doesn't have anything like that, but it's got a pretty decent belly that's going to let you do some intricate stuff if you're, depending on what you're doing with it. Lockup and retraction is really good and really fast, really solid. You can see just it comes in and out, hits hard, pops out hard, does what it's supposed to do. Now, if you say let's see, I've got cleaning rags here. If something were to come out and it doesn't retract, or it doesn't extend all the way, or something were to keep it from retracting all the way, it just kind of floats there. And what you can do with that is you can either pop it on something and then it pops out, or you can flick it out and then it stays out and it locks in place again. So that's kind of handy. You don't have to worry about it going off track. That was something I was a little bit worried about when I picked this up. A couple things I'm not quite as crazy about is this clip, mainly just because you can see here it doesn't sit super low in your pocket. You've got about 1/2 inch or 3/4 inch that it's pretty much always going to be sticking up out of your pocket. I like having my knives and my accessories ride pretty deep, which is that's just my preference. Some people aren't going to care that much, but that's just my thing. Also, I don't like that the clip is this silver. It's not really, it's just sort of a stainless steel. It's not finished in any fancy way, but I would prefer that it be black, partly to match, partly because I just think that having a stainless steel or a bright silver clip like this sticking out of your pants is a little bit, I prefer it just to be subtler. I like it to be black rather than the silver. So that's just a personal preference. You might not care. I'm probably going to take some spray on truck bed liner, which I think should be enough. I think that, from my experience, should be enough of should have enough durability to stay without chipping off and you know, looking crappy there. The finish on the body of the knife, not sure that that's going to hold up great. I don't know how well you can see it there, but I've just been carrying this today, and I've already got a couple of chips on it right along here. Not a make or break thing. Again, not a super expensive knife, and if it gets banged up, it's not going to be the end of the world. Couple things just to be aware of. This doesn't have a safety or anything on it, but you do have to give a good amount of pressure. I would guess probably 8, 9, 10 pounds of pressure with your thumb to pop that blade out, and that same amount of pressure to bring it back in. So it's not like it's going to be, if you drop your keys in your pocket while you've got this down, it's not like the keys are going to brush against that. It's going to pop off and, you know, stab you in your side while you're dropping your keys down there. But just something to be aware of. Other things to note, the grip on this is really, really good all around. You can see there's a nice grip pattern on the bottom here, same grip pattern on top, and then you've got the big switch here with a nice deep cutout that you can get a nice solid grip on with your hand. Now, I mentioned this is my first OTF knife. I've been used to flippers and folders. Again, this is one of my first pocket knives. It's not a Kershaw. Like I said, I've got this Storm here, and one of the things that I've always haven't been real crazy on with flippers and folders is to open them one-handed. You have to get your hand off to the side, so you can't have your hand around it. You have to have it off to the side, and then you flick it, and then you have to just really be clamping down on it side to side to make sure it doesn't flip out of your hand. So that's something that I've always been a little bit uneasy with. Sometimes you just, if you're not paying attention to it, you can drop the knife, you can hurt yourself doing that. This, with the blade just coming straight out, wasn't something that I had thought about much, but with that blade, you can get a nice strong grip all around the knife and then pop it out. You don't have to compromise your grip at all to expand or to extend or to retract the knife blade, which is handy if you're used to using a flipper or a folder like I am. So overall, I like the knife a lot. I'm going to have to give it a little bit of time. I'll have to put it through its paces, doing some cutting work and stuff to find out how well it really holds up. But overall, I am pretty impressed with it. For 40 bucks, it feels solid. It feels nice in the hand. It carries pretty well. Again, I prefer that it sit deeper in my pocket, but that's just a preference thing. It's not terribly heavy. It feels lighter, I would say, than my Kershaw Cryo, which is a significantly smaller knife, and it fits in my hand well. It doesn't, again, it goes, top to bottom. There's enough, meat there that I can wrap my hand around it without feeling like I'm gonna lose my grip on it. But it's not so much that it's ostentatious. It's not so much that it's crazy looking or anything like that, to where you've got this big thing, which is one of the reasons this Storm here, one of the reasons why I don't carry it anymore. It's just too big, which, to be honest, it's not that much of a difference in size, but this, just being sort of a lower profile looking knife, is a little bit less flashy, so that's a good thing. Overall, like I said, I'm pretty impressed with it. I'll probably check back in a couple of weeks once I've had some chances to really try it out, to show you guys what it's capable of, and hopefully it holds up and I didn't just blow 40 bucks. If I did, it's 40 bucks. It's not the end of the world, and if nothing else, it's kind of a cool little toy, a cool conversation starter. One thing to mention, just to be on the safe side with this is something that may or may not be legal in your area. I live in Iowa, and this is legal to own for anyone in Iowa. It is not legal for people to carry concealed, unless you have a concealed weapons permit, which I do. Now, with that, I mentioned that this doesn't sit real low in your pants. Depending on what constitutes being concealed, that may be enough. Really, this is not something that you're going to want to take my word for. You're going to want to check with authorities or police in your area to make sure that you're not going to get in trouble for this. But if you're not allowed to conceal carry a switchblade or an automatic knife like this, then having that out of your pocket enough that it's visible may be enough that you can legally carry it. Again, something to think about, not something to take my word on. But again, check with your authorities and check online for your knife laws before you leave the house with this. I did. I didn't actually think of it before I bought the knife, which could have been problematic, but as it turns out, it's legal for me since, like I said, I do have a concealed carry permit. Overall, like I said, cool knife. I would recommend it at least to check out. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments, and like I said, I'll probably check back in a couple weeks once I've had a chance to check it out a little bit and see how it holds up. Anyway, take care. Have a good day. Thanks.